Welcome to the Organ Makers channel. Today we're going to make wine racking, and these are called diamond bins, and you'll see when I put it together why they're called that. So I've already broken down all the stock. You guys know how that works, and I'm just kind of drilling a hole on each end for a pretty long screw I'm going to put in to hold these things together. There's going to be a fair amount of weight on this project. And there's all my half of the squares, and putting the two halves together. And now you can kind of see at a 45-degree angle, it's a diamond. So clamping it on three sides, I made this little jig just to make it a little easier. Took a notch out of the corner for the glue to squeeze out to, and in little imperfections. So there's all the diamonds. So now I'm going to take three of them and put them together, and I'm orienting them so where the screw is in the center is off by 90 degrees, so they're not all exactly the same, so the stress is being delivered across the joints. And I'm just spacing these out. They're 11 inches apart, and then centering the center one. I have a little center finding ruler, so I can just easily lay the ruler down there and find my mark. And they're going to get two supports in each corner. So then as I stack them together, I'm putting supports on the outside where the two boxes will meet, and they'll just kind of rest on each other there. A little better view. So opposite corner of where the inside supports are where I'm putting these outside supports. And I'm just using that 1, 2, 3 block to line up the ends. Alright, so now we'll make the carcass for it. I'm using pocket screws for the bottom because this will all be hidden. There's a little toe kick, that's what I just did. And then 3 boards at the bottom. And this is kind of a rustic build. It's the design is to be more like a crate versus fine furniture. The place where I kind of got the original idea, they had these boards not glued together, but I'm going to glue them together. So I'm using the plate joiner. And I've got one edge jointed, and I'm just gonna spread the glue, biscuits, and then glue the panels together. Pressing down pretty hard on the clamps to make sure it stays flat. These boards were pretty decent. I guess on the end closest to the camera, I'm going to give it another crank with the clamps. And then taking them out, that's my favorite little tool. That's the oldest tool I have, is that scraper. It was my dad's. It's probably from the 40s. Pretty cool. So now I'm going to just use the track saw and get one edge straight. These boards were surfaced on 3 sides, 2 faces and 1 edge. And then I'm going to run them through the table saw, and I'm using my little wheels here. I use these when I cut plywood by myself. It keeps things tight against the fence. And then I'm planing them down to 3/4, and also removing the rest of the glue. It's kind of nice. This is poplar. Really easy to work with. Now let's assemble it. So I got my 2 case sides and the base that you saw me do the pocket screws, and I'm using a speed square to make sure that it's 90 degrees to the case sides and flush at the bottom. And I've also got a framing square there for as I build it up. And then I'm using a 1/4 inch drill bit as kind of a gap between the boards. And I got a phone call. Now back to work. And just pocket screwed in the bottom. All from underneath, so you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, here come the diamonds. And I'm just kind of setting them in there, making sure that they're at 45 degrees to the case side. And then kind of refining the fit on the case. So I designed this in SketchUp, and I will have plans available when the whole wine cellar is built. And I based it on 3/4 inch stock. Well, all my diamond bands are a little thicker than 3/4. So you'll see what I do here at the end is I kind of nip the top corner to make it fit. But it just kind of telegraphed as it went up. And I actually thought that was probably not a terrible idea. I just buried the screw a little bit deeper, and now I'm trimming off the top. Because now I can kind of, you'll see here in a minute, I'll nail through the top into the corner of the diamond. Kind of keeps it from flopping around a little bit. Alright, now we're going to put the top on. The top is going to overlap the sides. And I did this to keep the case from blowing apart. You know, this thing's going to hold over 100 bottles of wine. And there's going to be a fair amount of weight on this thing. And I'm using 3-inch screws. And then the center, and then I do the drill bit trick again. And the center line, and then using the block to line everything up. Alright, now let's make one that's half that size. So we just take the full size one and cut it in half, and it gives us a half diamond band. So here's the full size one, and then a half. And that's how we made it.